My ex shamed me publicly when I was 6 months pregnant, then played the victim to dodge accountability. I've held this in for weeks, and I'm only spilling it now because the anger's too raw to contain. Maybe it's because people who were at that dinner keep messaging me, acting clueless about why I walked out. Like I just strolled away, 6 months pregnant, for no reason at all. So here's the unfiltered truth, no softening the edges. Derek and I had been trying to start a family for years. 2 losses, 1 early miscarriage, and enough fertility tests, supplements, and apps to drain us emotionally and financially. He was there through it all, at least in body. Every time I broke down on the bathroom tiles after another negative test, he'd hold me and whisper, "We'll make it through. We always do." When I finally saw that positive test, my hands trembled. I took 5 more tests, got a blood draw to confirm. When I told him, he just stared, no grin, no embrace, just all right. I laughed, assuming he was stunned. "You're just processing, right?" He said, "I need a minute to wrap my head around it," and went back to scrolling some forum about vintage watches. I stood there, staring at his phone, wondering how that could matter more than what I just shared. I brushed it off, told myself he was in shock. But days turned to weeks, and he never asked about doctor visits, never touched my growing belly, never checked on me. When I mentioned the baby, he'd switch topics or go silent like I was speaking to a shadow. One night I confronted him, "Are you still in this?" He didn't look up from his gaming console. "What do you want me to say?" He muttered, then kept playing. I called my mom. She said some men don't connect until the baby's born. My friend Sarah said it might be stress. So I clung to the hope it was something we could fix. Then Derek's sister, Leela, invited us to a family dinner, one of her lavish, photo-perfect gatherings. Derek's mom was there too, which wasn't common. Now I see it was probably planned. I wore a dress that finally fit my bump, styled my hair. I felt radiant. I thought maybe being around family, seeing me glowing, would spark something in Derek, make him care. I was naive. Leela greeted us with, "Wow, you're actually looking pregnant now. I thought you might be faking it." She laughed like it was clever. Derek didn't react, didn't even glance her way. The dinner was strained. They chatted about a vacation they were planning next year. Leela quipped, "Guess you're stuck with a kid now, no trips for you." Derek smirked and said, "Or maybe not, depending on how things shake out." Then chuckled. I dug my nails into my palms to stay composed. Then we talked baby names. I shared one I loved. Leela scoffed, "Sounds like a name for a reality TV star." I looked at Derek, waiting for him to step in. Instead, he said, "We don't even know if it's mine. Ever heard of paternity tests?" His mother's face drained of color. Leela cackled. I went numb. Then Leela added that kids screwed with her as a mom. I pushed my chair back, stood, looked at him and said, "You're right. This baby deserves better than a father like you." I walked out. No one came after me. No one called out. That was 3 weeks ago. He texted once, claiming I blew it out of proportion and it was just a joke. I didn't respond. His mom messaged too, something about family dinners being tense and suggesting we talk it out over coffee. I blocked her. My mom offered to move in with me. I might let her. But I'm not sad. I'm furious. How dare he? After everything, the losses, the pain, the nights I cried myself to sleep thinking we were a team, how dare he treat me like a burden, like a punchline, like a regret? So no, I'm done. I'm raising this baby alone. Because this child deserves a mother who knows her value and a father who shows up. Derek is neither. After I left, I cut him off completely. Blocked his number. Blocked his mom. Blocked Leela. Moved in with my cousin Tara, who had a spare room, a futon on the floor, and a toaster oven that could turn frozen pancakes into a feast. It wasn't fancy, but it was safe. Calm, even. I was still pregnant. Still drained, still reeling. But I was managing. Then Derek showed up, not physically at first. About 10 days after the dinner, I found a small package on my car, no note. Just a baby onesie inside, blue with a little bear. Still wrapped, clearance sticker slapped on it. I thought it might be from Tara's mom. But no. The next day, a note was taped to our door. "I miss you. Can we talk?" No signature, but I knew Derek's handwriting, those odd, loopy Ks. I ignored it. Then came the stroller. A massive box left at the apartment door. One of those fancy convertible ones that cost a fortune. No note. Just a heavy, unwanted gesture wrapped in cardboard. I hauled it inside and left it unopened. Tara gave me a look but stayed quiet. She knew not to push. Then came the worst. I was taking out the trash one afternoon. Hair a wreck. Belly sore after a grueling call with my insurance agent about registering the birth without a father listed. I turned the corner and there he was. By the mailboxes. Like he was waiting for a delivery, holding a paper bag with a stuffed toy peeking out. He jumped when he saw me. I just wanted to drop this off and talk. If you've got a minute, he said. A minute. I was 7 months pregnant, lugging trash, and this guy wanted to chat like we were old friends bumping into each other at a grocery store. I told him to go. He said, just a few minutes. I just want to explain. No, I said, again. Then he muttered that I was being overdramatic and cold, that he was trying to fix things. That's when I lost it. I snatched the bag and threw it in the dumpster. You don't get to erase what you did, I said. You don't get to show up with gifts and pretend it didn't happen. Like your silence wasn't a choice. Like your cruelty wasn't real. He said he was sorry, that he was scared. That he was overwhelmed. He said, I thought you'd move past it. I asked what exactly he thought I'd move past. The part where he implied I cheated. The part where his sister mocked me and he laughed. He said it was just a rough night, that people say stupid things when they're nervous. It was a Tuesday, I reminded him. No one was drinking, just iced tea and soda. Your mom drove herself home. He reached for my arm. I pulled back. Then he said something that chilled me. I already told my mom we're sorting this out. She's planning to visit after the baby comes. I thought we could keep this quiet, not make it a big deal. You told your family we're back together, I asked. He nodded like it made sense. I slapped him, not hard, just instinctive. Like my hand moved faster than my thoughts. Then I turned, went upstairs, locked the door, and sat on the floor for 10 minutes trying to catch my breath. It got worse. A few days later, Sarah called, said she ran into Leela at the mall. Leela acted like everything was fine. Said she was thrilled about the baby, said she knew Derek would step up. That's when it hit me, the stroller, the onesie. The toy, they weren't for me. Or the baby. They were props, a performance. A story he was trying to rewrite to look like the guy who came through. So I flipped the script. I loaded the stroller into Tyra's car with bungee cords and drove it to Derek's mom's house. Knocked on the door, she answered surprised. Oh, you look great, is Derek here? No, he's working good. I pushed the box inside her doorway. Just returning the lie he sent me, I said. She looked puzzled. What's that supposed to mean? Your son said we're working things out. We're not ascertainable facts, not. We never will. And if you show up at the hospital or near this child, I'll get a restraining order so fast your head will spin. She tried to calm me down, voice gentle. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I laughed. A sharp, bitter laugh women like me always are, aren't we? Too emotional, too upset. Too difficult just because we refuse to be treated like trash. I walked out, shut the door hard, haven't heard from Derek since. But I know he's out there. Spinning his version, I heard through the grapevine he's saying I had a hormonal meltdown. That he's over it, that he's the bigger person, let him talk. The truth? I'm done cleaning up his mess. Time moved on, I got closer to my due date. I didn't hear from Derek directly, but his shadow lingered. In the whispers, the forwarded texts, the way Leela suddenly acted like we were best friends. I gave birth in early spring. My daughter arrived a bit early, but she was perfect. Bright eyes, curious frown. Like she was already questioning the world. Tara was in the delivery room with me. Sarah brought muffins and a balloon that said, "You nailed it, Queen." I didn't tell Derek. Didn't tell Leela, didn't tell their side. I left the father's name blank on the birth certificate. Some said I was harsh, that he deserved to know, but rights come with showing up. And he threw that away when he turned my pregnancy into a punchline. He didn't earn this moment, this child. Or me, motherhood was a whirlwind, no rest. Spit up on every outfit. The closest I got to hot coffee was lukewarm sips from a cracked mug, but I was content. Then out of the blue, a message came, not from Derek, from Ryan. His old best friend. They hadn't talked in years, and I never knew why. Ryan and Derek were once glued at the hip, then nothing. Derek always said Ryan was too intense, too much trouble. I never dug deeper. Ryan's message said, "Hey, I heard what went down. It's not my place, but there's something you should know. It might clear things up." I almost ignored it. I was exhausted, my daughter napping on me, too deep in new mom haze to deal with drama. But something made me respond, go on. And he did. Back when Derek was in his early 20s, Ryan said he got another woman pregnant, not me. Not any ex I knew. Some girl he dated briefly. She told him she was pregnant and he panicked. Not just "I'm not ready." Full-blown meltdown, begged her to end it, said it would destroy his life, that he wasn't built for it, she didn't keep it. And Derek never moved on, not in a healthy way. He didn't mourn, he didn't grow. He rewrote it. Ryan said Derek turned it into a story where he was the victim, where she used the pregnancy to manipulate him, where women weaponize babies. Since then, Derek had this resentment toward fatherhood, not fear, anger, bitterness. He started making grim jokes about baby traps, about paternity tests, about not trusting a positive test until the kid's born. Ryan said he ignored it at first, but it grew darker. It clicked. So clearly it made me sick. The way Derek shifted after our losses, he wasn't grieving. He was relieved. Every baby we lost was a dodged bullet to him. He never wanted to be a father, not even with me. He could have been honest, could have told me. Instead, he let me carry the weight. Let me think I was the issue, then shamed me like it was all a game, so I decided to play back. I posted a picture, not a staged, look at me being a strong mom photo. A real one. Me in sweats on the floor, hair a mess, holding my daughter who just spit up on me. She wore a onesie that said, "Born wild and winning." My caption was short. You called her a mistake. But she's the one thing I've never questioned. I knew he'd see it. Leela still lurked on Tara's Instagram. And Tara reposted it. Sure enough, Leela screenshotted it and sent it to Derek. He always had to control the story. Within an hour, he messaged. Said the post was unfair. That I was dragging him online. That I was keeping his daughter from him. His daughter. I laughed. I replied, "You cut yourself out when you joked about paternity tests at dinner. What are you trying to claim? The child you didn't want or the image you're trying to save?" He didn't respond. 2 days later, a letter arrived handwritten from his mom. She was worried, concerned about the long-term effects of keeping a child from her father. Said Derek was trying. Said kids need both parents. I folded the letter and tucked it into the baby book I was keeping. Not the cute kind with sparkly stickers. A raw one in archive, screenshots, letters, the truth. Because one day my daughter will have questions, and she deserves honest answers. I ran into Leela once more by chance. We were in the baby aisle at the store. I was picking up diapers. She was grabbing some fancy lotion. She tried to slip past like she didn't see me. I didn't let her, Leela, I said. She stopped, gave me that forced, thin smile. "Oh, hi, how's the baby?" "She's great," I said, smiles when I sing off-pitch. Thinks I'm a riot. Leela gave an awkward chuckle. "You know Derek's struggling, right?" she said. I blinked. "He feels like you're punishing him," I said. "He's being punished by the truth." "You don't have to be cruel," she said. I smiled. Neither did he. Then I walked away. And I meant it. You don't get to wreck something beautiful and then cry when you're not part of it anymore. You don't get to humiliate your pregnant partner and then act like you deserve a place in her life after the baby's born. That's not how it works. Derek made his choice. I made mine. Months passed, then years. My daughter grew. Bold, funny, fiercely her own. She doesn't ask about her dad. She knows one exists, in theory. But she's never felt a void. I gave her a community. Tara, Sarah, my mom. A few loyal friends who stepped up for midnight feedings and daycare runs. Then 6 years later, he reached out again, a plain envelope. No return address. Just my name, but I knew the handwriting. I opened it while my daughter brushed her teeth and the dryer hummed. He said he'd been in therapy, that he was sorry, that he thought of her constantly, that he had no right to ask. But if I'd let him just see her, even from afar, he'd be thankful. I read it, folded it, stashed it in a drawer with old receipts and dried-out pens. Didn't reply, not immediately. I sat with it, weighed it. Not for me, not for him, maybe for her. Maybe so he could see what he lost. I texted him from a burner number. Saturday, 3 p.m., Riverside Park bench by the oak. You sit. You don't approach. You don't speak to her. 10 minutes, that's it. He replied an hour later. I'll be there. Thank you. She's 6 now. I'll call her Kay. She's sharp as a tack, asks a million questions, has a laugh that lights up the world. We went to the park that day as promised. I didn't tell her anything. Just said we'd get ice cream after. We arrived and there he was. He looked gaunt. Older. Same old haircut, same nervous hand fidgeting. He was on the bench, staring at the dirt. When he saw her, he froze. She didn't notice him. Too busy chasing a butterfly and calling for me to look. I walked up not too close. He stood, looked like he wanted to talk. I raised a hand. You don't speak, just listen. And I laid it out that he left, that he made his choice. That she didn't know him and was thriving, that he forfeited his place in her life when he mocked my pregnancy in front of his family. That she didn't need him. That she had people who showed up, and he didn't. He didn't argue. Just nodded. Kay ran back, holding a stick shaped like a fork. "Can I keep it?" she asked. "It's my pet stick now." I said yes. We walked away. She waved at him the way she does with strangers. I turned to him one last time. "You've seen her. That's more than you deserve. Don't reach out again." And that was it. He missed 6 years' first words, first steps. Bumped Shin's birthday candles. The first time she zipped her own jacket. The first time she told a joke that had me laughing till I cried. He missed it all. And now he lives with that. I don't hate him. I don't forgive him either. I feel nothing. He's just not in the picture anymore. Kay is happy. Whole. Loved, and he'll never take that from her. She's not missing a dad. She just never had one, and there's a difference. If this story hit home, please like, share, and follow for more real-life drama. Your support keeps these stories coming. Thanks for reading, and catch you in the next one.